All right, so you've sent us some fascinating stuff on the Antikythera mechanism.
And, well, let's just say it's time for a deep dive.
That's a good one.
Because this thing it's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine, right, it's 1900, we're in the Aegean Sea.
Okay.
Group of Greek sponge divers, they're doing their thing.
Right, just another day.
They find this ancient Roman shipwreck.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, not all the time, but
Fair enough.
But you know what I mean? They find pottery, statues, like the usual haul.
Sure, the usual suspects.
And then they pull up this thing.
Huh? Oh.
It's just this corroded lump of bronze, right?
Doesn't sound too promising.
No, not exactly like Eureka breakthrough discovery at first glance.
No, not quite. And that's where things get interesting. It wasn't immediately obvious what they had. It took decades, actually.
Decades. Hold on.
Decades for someone to go, wait a minute.
Yeah, decades of research, cleaning, putting all these tiny pieces back together like a giant puzzle before anyone realized this wasn't just another old artifact. This was something else entirely.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
So what we now call the Antikythera Mechanism.
Okay.
It's what's known as an analog computer.
Wait, back up. A computer.
From a Roman shipwreck. We're talking togas and sandals, not microchips and, like, motherboards, right?
Exactly. But that's the thing. This computer predates all of that. By a long shot.
Right.
We're talking over 2,000 years old.
No way.
Before electricity, heck, even the Roman Empire itself, this thing existed.
That's insane. So what did this ancient computer compute? What did it do?
All right, so get this. It could track celestial bodies.
Okay, you mean like the sun and the moon?
Sure, the sun and the moon, but get this, planets too.
Whoa.
And with an accuracy that's still pretty impressive, even today.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. They could even predict eclipses.
Like an ancient eclipse warning system.
Exactly. Imagine that. But wait, there's more?
There's more. Okay, you got me. What else?
It also kept track of the ancient Olympic Games cycle. Imagine that, right?
So they had the Olympic schedule, like, built in.
Pretty much. No need for your fancy smartphone app.
That's wild. Okay, so this thing was way ahead of its time. But who built it? Who were these geniuses, and how did they even do it with, like, whatever tools they had back then?
Those are the million-dollar questions. Right now, research suggests ancient Greek scholars maybe around 150 to 100 BCE.
Okay.
One theory points to the island of Rhodes, like their Silicon Valley back then.
Right.
Home to some serious brain power. One name you might recognize, Archimedes.
No way. Archimedes. Like Eureka.
Archimedes.
The one and only.
Wow. Didn't he, invent all sorts of crazy things?
He did. And get this, the Antikythera Mechanism, its design, it has some striking similarities to some of Archimedes' own work.
So could he have been involved?
It's possible. Maybe him, maybe a student, maybe someone inspired by him. We just don't know for sure.
What a mystery.
Right. But speaking of mysteries, how about the how of it all? Yeah, with the limited tools.
Yeah, exactly. How did they build something so complex? Well, X-ray technology, it's given us a peek inside.
What's in there?
Picture this. Over 30 bronze gears, all perfectly made, interconnected, working together.
30 gears. Sure, and we're not talking big, clunky things. These gears were tiny, some the size of your fingernail, all precisely crafted.
That's insane. Just the precision alone to make something like that.
It's mind-blowing, right? And it shows you the level of skill these ancient engineers had. Not just astronomy, but serious engineering jobs.
Okay, so we've got this incredible device. Maybe Archimedes is somehow connected to it, a testament to, ancient Greek genius. And it winds up at the bottom of the sea.
Right. It's like you'd think something this valuable, they'd keep it safe, right?
Exactly. Why was it even on a Roman ship in the first place?
Another good question. We don't know for sure, but the best guess is it was part of a larger shipment. Maybe loot, maybe trade goods, heading from Greece to Rome.
So this amazing piece of tech, maybe the most advanced of its time, just another piece of cargo. Seems that way. It was probably headed for some wealthy collector in Rome.
And never made it, huh?
Nope. Sank right off the coast of Antikythera, hence the catchy name.
Wow, what a story. It makes you wonder, if something like this one-of-a-kind thing could be lost for centuries.
What else is out there?
Exactly. What else is down there just waiting to be found?
Now you're thinking like an archaeologist.
Right. It's both exciting and kind of scary, isn't it?
Absolutely. This thing has thrown a real curveball at our understanding of history, that's for sure.
No kidding. It makes you wonder, what else did they know back then?
That's the question, isn't it?
All right, well, we're just getting started with this deep dive. We've got a lot more to uncover about the Antikythera mechanism, so stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, so we've got this ancient device. It's clearly remarkable, but what's it all really mean?
Right, it's not just some cool gadget from the past. It actually changes things.
Like, how so?
Well, the Antikythera mechanism is like, it makes us rethink what we thought we knew about ancient civilizations, about what they could do.
Okay, I'm listening. But how does one device, even one as complex as this, change all that?
Think about it. For centuries, right, we've kind of assumed, well, we thought of ancient cultures as less advanced.
Yeah.
We put ourselves up here on top of the progress ladder.
Right.
But then along comes something like the Antikythera mechanism, and it throws a wrench in the whole thing.
You're saying this changes everything.
It really does. It makes you reconsider the potential of these ancient societies.
Yeah.
What if they knew way more than we give them credit for?
So it's not just the gears and dials themselves.
It's what it says about them.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
It says, hey, innovation, progress, it's not always a straight line. The ancient Greeks, they did incredible things.
Yeah, with way less than we have now, too.
Exactly.
It really makes you wonder, what LSE is out there?
Buried, forgotten.
Right. What could rewrite the history books if we found it?
It's a pretty amazing thought.
It really is. But okay, let's bring it back to the present for a second.
Sure.
We talked about the past, but this thing, this mechanism, what could it teach U.S. here, now, in the 21st century?
That's a great question.
What's a 2,000-year-old hunk of bronze got to do with this today, right?
More than you might think. Look, it's easy to forget
Yeah.
the core of it all, the human side,
Go on.
the dedication, the skill to build something this complex back then with those tools.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you put it like that.
It speaks to their patience, their precision, their commitment to understanding, well, the universe.
And you're saying we can still learn from that?
Absolutely. We're all about instant gratification these days, fast tech.
Yeah.
But the mechanism reminds us, true innovation, it takes more than that.
Like what?
Curiosity, perseverance, the guts to stick with an idea.
I never thought I'd get a pep talk from ancient Greece, but here we are.
Right. It's inspiring.
It is. Makes you wonder, though, what will people in the future think about our UR stuff?
Our smartphones, our tech.
Will it seem like, I don't know, primitive to them? Like, we see this mechanism now.
It puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so we talked past, we talked future. What about the present?
Good point.
What are researchers doing N now W to, like, solve this Antikythera mechanism puzzle?
Well, they're not just letting it gather dust. Technology has come a long way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Things like 3D X-ray scanning, it's letting us see deeper than ever before.
Inside the mechanism.
Right into its guts. And that's led to some big discoveries.
Okay, like, what? Don't leave me hanging.
Remember those 30 gears we talked about?
Yeah, barely the size of a fingernail. Insane precision, yeah.
Turns out there's even more.
More gears.
Seriously.
The recent scans, they show over 70, all working together.
70.
It's unbelievable, right?
Huh.
Each gear essential.
That's like a whole other level of complexity.
It is, and that's not all. The scans, they're helping us read the inscriptions too.
The ones in the mechanism, I thought those were impossible to decipher. They're tough, but we're making progress. And it's giving us clues about how it was built, why, even who made it. Like we're having a conversation with the past.
Wow. So what have we learned so far from these ancient whispers?
One big thing, the Antikythera mechanism, it wasn't just about tracking stars, planets, that kind of thing.
It wasn't.
It was more like a philosophical instrument, too.
What do you mean?
The ancient Greeks, they used it to make sense of their place in the cosmos. Time, cycles, all of that.
So way more than just a fancy calendar.
Exactly. It shows this incredible intellectual curiosity, this need to understand existence itself.
Wow, that's heavy stuff. And to think we're still learning from this one artifact after all this time.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
It really is. And it seems like we've still got a lot more to uncover. But for now, we're going to have to hit pause on this deep dive. Don't worry, we'll be back to finish unraveling the mysteries of the Antikythera mechanism, so make sure you come back for the thrilling conclusion. Okay, so we've traveled back in time, explored a shipwreck, and encountered some serious ancient tech.
It's been quite a journey.
This Antikythera mechanism is like this giant cosmic puzzle, right?
Wrapped in bronze, no less, and it's got us asking all sorts of questions.
Like if something this advanced could just disappear for centuries.
Makes you wonder what else is out there, right?
Exactly. What else is waiting to be found to maybe rewrite everything we thought we knew?
It's both exciting and a little humbling, isn't it?
Totally. Like, we only have this tiny sliver of understanding about the past.
And that understanding keeps changing, too. Every new discovery.
It's like the story is never really over.
Exactly. That's what keeps it so fascinating. There's always something more to learn. Which reminds me, we were talking about those inscriptions on the mechanism.
Right. The ones that hinted at a whole other layer to this thing.
For a long time, we were stuck on the astronomical calculator idea, you know?
Yeah, which is already incredible in itself.
Absolutely. But then you factor in these inscriptions, and it takes on a whole new meaning.
So it wasn't just about charting the stars, it was.
It was about understanding them, their movements, their cycles. The ancient Greeks, they were trying to make sense of their place in the cosmos.
Wow, that's a lot bigger than just figuring out when the next eclipse is, right?
Right. It speaks to something deeper, this drive to understand existence itself, not just observe it.
And they were doing this over 2,000 years ago.
With limited tools, no less.
It's really incredible. It's like they left us a message across millennia.
A glimpse into how they saw the universe.
Exactly. And maybe a challenge for us.
Oh, how so?
To keep exploring, to keep asking the big questions just like they did. The Antikythera Mechanism shows us that humans are capable of amazing things.
Even with what we might consider limited technology.
It's inspiring, you know? It makes you want to push further, think bigger.
It really does. It reminds you that limitations are often self-imposed.
And that sometimes the greatest discoveries come from the most unexpected places.
Absolutely. Like a corroded hunk of bronze pulled from a shipwreck.
Who would have thought? It's amazing where a little curiosity can lead you.
That's the beauty of discovery. It can take you anywhere.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
I hope so.
From ancient shipwrecks to the mysteries of the cosmos, this has been quite the deep dive. And to our listeners, if this has sparked your own curiosity, don't let the exploration end here. Go out there, ask questions, keep digging, and you never know what amazing things you might uncover.